Good afternoon and welcome to Somerset Park for the start of the 25-26 season. We're here for the Premier Cup. We are up against Arbroath and it should be an interesting game. Now let's start with the teams, and for the away team we'll have Mitch giving out the team.
Welcome back.
Welcome back everybody.
Nice to see you all again. Looking forward very much to this one. Starting off with the Arbroath line-up, wearing one is former Ayr United man Aidan McAdams, 4 Jack Wilkie, 5 Thomas O'Brien, 6 another former Ayr man Aaron Muirhead, 11 Brian Dowd, 12 Scott Stewart, 16 Craig Watson, 17 Finlay Marshall, 18 Aaron Pettifer, 19 Nikolai Todorov and 25 is Harry Cochran. Subs wearing 2 Aaron Steele, 7 David Gold, 9 Callum Gallagher, 10 Gavin Riley, 15 Trialist, 21 Jordan Pettigrew, 22 Rocco Higgy for Jackia, 24 Luke Kenny and 32 is Alistair Spalding.
Gary, do you want to do the Ayr team for us?
Why not? I'll do the Ayr team. In goals, number 1 David Mitchell, number 2 Nick McAllister, number 4 Sean Want, number 5 new signing Kevin Holt.
So's Sean Want.
Well, newer signing Kevin Holt. Number 10 Curtis Main, number 11 Dom Thomas, number 15 the captain Jamie Murphy, number 21 Ethan Walker, number 22 Mark McKenzie, number 23 Marco Roos and number 33 Scott McMahon. On the bench for Ayr United today is number 38 Liam Russell, number 3 Liam Dick, number 9 George Oakley, number 16 Jake Hasty, number 17 Jude Bonner, number 18 Jamie Hislop, number 29 Lucas McRoberts and number 32 Dylan Watrip.
And our match officials for today, referee is Greg Suter, assistant referee far side is Craig McRae and assistant referee near side is Stuart Stevenson.
I want to touch on first, probably the big standout here is Jude Bonner on the bench for Ayr.
Yes.
Obviously we've signed him on a season-long loan, which is probably good for Ayr. But I think it's obviously part of the cooperation agreement that's not yet moved forward. Well, it's moved forward, but
it has moved forward.
Yeah,
I was speaking to the Celtic assistant manager, Sean, just before we came on air there, and we still have a couple of players possibly to come in for this cooperative with Celtic, and certainly from the sounds of it, it sounds like a really, really good idea by the SPFL, which I think they should be applauded for. What appears to be allowing is that players can come down to a team, and if, for example, Jude Bonner doesn't get started for maybe 3 or 4 weeks or whatever, then Celtic can recall him, but they can then give somebody else down in replace of him. And of course we're not paying any wages for Jude or anything like that. It's all coming out of Celtic, so it's going to give certainly let's say for the Celtic players, it's probably going to give them opportunities that they wouldn't get in up at Parkhead.
yeah, it's a great way to develop young players, isn't it?
And that's what it's all about, and that's something that I think Scottish football for generations now has struggled with.
So far behind. So far behind in other countries in that regard of the youth development. I think Denmark, Norway, I think they're 2 countries that have had this model in place for a long time.
Yeah.
See a lot of young players from Scandinavian countries making their way in Europe into the Premier League and bigger leagues in the world, that kind of thing. So it's certainly something that we've been quite far behind in, and it's nice to see us actually finally taking that step as a footballing nation and try to focus on youth development more, because ultimately, no doubt, obviously the main goal is to aid clubs and the younger players at all clubs, but these are the future internationals potentially, or the future of Scottish football for the next 10 to 15 years, so
yeah,
we need to really take care of it.
It'll benefit us as well, because obviously we've got players going down. We've got the loan relationship with East Stirlingshire.
Yeah, exactly.
Which the guys will be out there playing football hopefully on a weekly basis, whereas they just wouldn't get it if they stayed here at Somerset Park.
Well, we've actually took that to advantage today. Jamie Hislop and Lucas McRoberts obviously been
on the bench,
been called back to play for us today. So
yeah, they're two boys that will be between here and East Stirling this season.
Kenzie Mitchell is the other one as well.
Lucas McRoberts obviously getting his goal off the bench on Tuesday night was a nice moment for him, nice moment for Ayr as well, to see that co-op agreement working so well, and I mentioned it to the manager after deliberately because it just showed that working to full effect. Lucas comes back, East Stirling don't have a game, able to be on the bench, gets a goal for us, makes a positive contribution, and can go back to East Stirling.
That's exactly it. You know, it's not like, oh, we need to call them back and that's him back for the rest of the season. You can basically call them back almost on an ad hoc game by game basis. So if somebody gets injured, God forbid, you know, let's not have any injuries this season at all. No. You know, we could still pull them back, keep them in for maybe a game or two, and then send them back to their respective clubs again. But anyway, let's have a wee chat about today's game. Arbroath back in the Championship after one season down.
Yeah, exactly. I didn't expect them to come straight back up of them, and totally honest, I thought they'd be down there for a few seasons and potentially be stagnating in their progress. But you've got to say that Arbroath, over the last couple of years especially, since they had that great run, they were within a game of going into the Premier League a couple of years ago. Since they've had that great run, they've invested off the park as well. The infrastructure and stuff's a whole lot better now, albeit it's still a part-time club. They're a very well run organisation now compared to what they were a few years ago. And
are they now the only part-time club in the Championship?
Yeah, they are indeed. And I think the thing is as well, for us, this is going to be a great gauge for us as fans, the coaching staff, to see where we're at ahead of the new season, playing against a club that we're going to be competing against in our own league.
Yes. So
very much looking forward to this one. And we should also say two changes to the United lineup that started on Tuesday evening. Out come Liam Dick and George Oatley, and in come Curtis Main and new signing Kevin Holt. And as Gary said earlier on, we've got number 17 Jude Bonner on the bench as well, as Arbroath get us underway for season 25-26 here at Somerset.
Oh, that's better. I can hear what you're saying now.
I know, it's quite nice.
Apologies, the PA seems to have been ramped up again over the close season. We will need to be having words.
never seems to change. Also worth noting,
I was going to put that
late challenge early doors there from Craig Watson. Could it be an early booking? And it is. Not sure quite the time scale on that, but it's got to be within the first.
Yeah, that's a bad challenge.
I
was going to note Harry Cochrane in for Arbroath. I don't know if that's you were going to say the same thing.
Yeah, that's what I was literally going to say.
That's 30 seconds on the clock.
30 seconds on the clock, and Craig Watson goes straight into the book. Craig Watson's a familiar name as well, signed from Ayr in the summer. I think he played over 140 appearances for them or something. I was looking up earlier on. And but yeah, not really the way you want to adhere yourself to your new manager by getting a yellow card within the first 30 seconds, walking a tightrope for the rest of the game.
Yep.
One to watch.
It's also not what we want either. You know, that could have been a very serious challenge, and as it is, the physios had to go out to the player to make sure that he's okay. You know,
who is it? It's down, is it?
Marco Roos.
You know, I mean,
it was a.
I've made no secret of the fact that I don't particularly like this competition. I don't think it's all that important to us, and yet, you know, we're putting out basically a full strength team, and you know, fair dues to Scott. You know, yeah, he absolutely wants to win every game, but you know, that could have been Marco Roos out for basically the rest of the season if that had been a really bad tackle. For what? Yes. Anyway, that is just honestly my opinion on.
It's a real bone of contention that with this League Cup format. I believe the first year of the group stage was the year that the Andy Geoghegan game happened against Kilmarnock, which was a great highlight for us. But as you say, it's very, very early on in the season. Almost still feels like pre-season in some ways.
Yeah.
McKenzie looked to be filled from behind there by Totherall. He was indeed.
I must note Matt McKenzie picking up the captain's armband at the end of the Annan game. Thoroughly deserved after his performance in pre-season. He's been unbelievable, holding down that midfield after obviously Stuart Bannigan and Ben Dempsey are both out at the moment injured. So
yeah, now we just need him to play goalkeeper, and he's played out of position for us.
Yep.
Main.
And of course our first league game this year is away to Arbroath, and it is on the television.
McAllister skips past Wilkie, into the area it goes. Maybe ahead of O'Brien. Thomas into the area. and Aidan McAdams will claim that one. Always knew he was a good shot stopper, McAdams, when he was at Ayr, but I think fans felt he didn't quite command his area very well, so maybe interesting to see how he gets on with that today.
They had a very good season at Arbroath last season, obviously getting promoted.
Kevin Holt wins that one comfortably. McMahon, Mackenzie, Bruce. Here's Want. So McAllister in behind, but that ball skip off the wet pitch.
Yeah, McAllister there going, I wanted it here, not there, here.
Nick McAllister, 2 assists on Tuesday night. It's a solid performance for him in his first game back, the competitive season. Very solid performance all round from United, albeit only against, with all due respect, an Athletic, and as I said, it'll be good to get a gauge of where we're at today against championship opposition, but you've got to say, very professional performance, Gary, on Tuesday.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, George Oakley's 5-minute hat trick, was it, I think? When I went back to edit, sorry, you went back to edit the highlights, it was, it was straight from kick-off, his second or third one.
High boot.
It was a high boot. I don't really know what he's complaining about. It was,
definitely was a high foot.
Definitely a high one there.
Just see there the joint management team of David Golden, Colin Hamilton discussing tactics on the sidelines there. Fantastic first season for them. Took over from Jim McIntyre, who didn't have the greatest of spells there, with all due respect. Ryan Dow towards the back post, cleared by Holt. So for an Arbroath ball on the far side. Gary, you're maybe through pointing out the fact that Harry Cochrane recently signed for Arbroath on a 1-year contract, but he was training with us in pre-season.
He was on trial with us during the pre-season games, yes. I don't know if Scott Brown saw much of him, to be honest. I don't think he was a fan.
Bruce wins that one. Breaks for Murphy. Thomas skips past Wilkie. Good play from Dom Thomas. McAllister, first touch just lets him down there. It's funny, always feel that with Scottish football, players could be playing against each other one minute and then the next season they're playing together. They all seem to know one another or have mutuals with different players. Marshall dispossessed. Bruce has got Murphy outside. He picks out Murphy, goes for goal. Doesn't quite get the shot off.
Yeah, I don't think he can get his foot underneath it there, sort of first time.
So a good play from Curtis Main there to let that ball run through to Jamie Murphy, recognised that today's captain was in a better position than he was.
But I think this is one of the big problems in a way with Scottish football, is that particularly in the Championship and below, that players are in for only like a season, 2 seasons, whatever, and I don't think they really get a chance to learn how everybody else plays in the team. You look at the likes of Falkirk last season. They'd had a squad that had been together for 4 or 5 years, and I know we said it frequently during the games last season, but they just knew where everybody was. And I know it's a completely different ball game, but there's was it Andy Robertson at Liverpool, you know, I've had a fantastic 8 years here at Liverpool. You know, I'd love to see some of our players staying for 5, 6, 7 years. Really bed in, really get to know how the team plays. Discuss, disagree or agree, you know.
Yeah.
I think the last player that had was Moffey. You know, he had a 10-year spell with Ayr United.
You look at Mark McKenzie though as well, like
he's been here quite a few years.
Made his first team debut in season 1920. So
yeah, but you know they're kind of outliers.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're definitely right.
Look at the likes of Paddy Redden as well, who's just left us. He's been here since was here since 2020.
Yeah,
so he's had a 5-year spell here as well.
During the COVID season.
But you know, I'd like to see a backbone of, as long as they're good enough, a backbone of maybe 5 or 6 players who would kind of commit to a long-term contract with Ayr.
Here's Roos. Picks out the caster. Can he get there? He does. It's blocked by Wilkie and rebound falls to O'Brien, who can hook clear.
So what are your feelings on the players brought in for this season? As Nick McAllister makes an absolute mess of that.
Yeah. I don't know about you, Gary, but I'm quite pleased with the recruitment. I think initially a lot of fans viewed it as underwhelming, like with David Mitchell, someone who was at Thistle, was steady, would you say?
Yeah.
One of those, Liam Dick again, steady fullback, but then signed Dom Thomas. Stuart Bannigan as well was one that raised a few eyebrows, and then now Kevin Holt, and then with that pending agreement from Celtic, it's starting to look like we're assembling a real good squad with experience at this level.
I think there's a good mix of experience has come in.
Thomas didn't quite fall for Curtis Main.
Yeah, there's a good mix of experience and youth in the team now, and particularly with the Celtic boys. I mean, they'll all be on more or less the youth side of things. So yeah, I think it's obviously it's early days yet, and need to really see how the team gels as a unit, but.
Fell against Curtis Main. Now, forced back towards his own goal. Switches play, Watson. Wilkie. Todorov beats, wants the ball, but Kevin Holt can recycle. David Mitchell clears. Ethan Walker's been a man who's been a standout in the early games of pre-season, and also that first game on Tuesday night. Looks a lot fitter and sharper this year.
Yeah, he really seems to coming into his game. I mean, at the end of last season, you saw he was getting those last-minute equalisers / winners, like 3 or 4 games in a row. And it's nice to see him getting the score sheet regularly in pre-season.
Given away there by Dom Thomas, and now Watson overlapping. So there it goes, Mackenzie's clearance goes over the top of Mitchell's crossbar and out for an Arbroath corner. Important to acknowledge that Arbroath is always very solid defensively. Didn't concede a single shot on target against St Mirren last weekend. And Gaffer brought that up in his pre-match interview. Also claimed that bonus point win on penalties.
must note that St Mirren are already 3-0 up against Annan.
And swing was cleared by Kevin Holt again, and Dom Thomas will give chase.
East Kilbride are continuing their winning ways, 1-0 up at Elgin City.
They're a good bet to win League 2 this year at East Kilbride. I saw Cy Ferry doing a podcast during the week, and he was saying that the owners of East Kilbride have ambitions to be in the Championship within 4 seasons as the ball bounces around. Offside flag raised against Totherwell, I believe, there.
Was that on Footy Adventures by any chance?
Potentially. I honestly couldn't tell you. It was a clip I saw on social media. It wasn't the full thing, I just saw that clip.
I think, a shout out to Sam, who does Footy Adventures and is quite a good friend of the club. He did something with East Kilbride, and I'm sure they were saying there that they want to be up in the Championship in 3 to 4 seasons.
Certainly with the money that they're putting in behind the scenes, and they have been putting in for the last couple of seasons, you wouldn't be too surprised to see that come to fruition at some point. Mackenzie. 1. To Holt. Alliston.
And it's a 50-50, they both jumped up for a header. I'd be surprised if he gets booked, but...
Unfortunate. Just one of those ones, as you say, Gary, 50-50, and for me, Wilkie's just the unfortunate one that comes off a little bit worse off.
Yep.
Bit too close for comfort there from Nick McAllister. Probably the most eye-catching change for Ayr United today is George Otley scoring a hat-trick on Tuesday night and gets dropped to the bench.
Yeah, I heard at the start of the game that's a sort of 60-30 thing. I think Curtis Main's going to play 60 minutes and then they're going to swap in George Otley for the last half an hour.
Right, okay.
Sort the ball over.
Yeah, burst ball. That was quite a good wee kick by the referee there.
The referee's not got trainers on, has he? He's refereeing a game. He's refereeing a game with trainers on.
As the kit man George Robertson gets a hold of the ball and says there's nothing wrong with it.
Murphy picked out well. Well dispossessed again by the defence. Good challenge from Want, Bruce, Thomas. Mackenzie. McMahon. It's worth noting as well that George Otley obviously had a stop-start pre-season. He didn't quite make it in for the first couple of weeks due to that injury issue that he had over the summer. So you think that could potentially be part of that as well? The fact that he's been dropped after scoring the hat-trick?
Yeah, I would think so as well. Obviously having that little operation behind his knee.
Main. Into the centre. Wilkie clears over the top of the Somerset Road end, out for the United corner. Fair to say he made sure.
Yep, so no shouts for man on, so just fire it out. Dom Thomas seems to be the corner taker this season.
Yeah, he seems to like that 40 ball in. Here it comes towards the edge. Kevin Holt flicked on with Ethan Walker.
Shouts for a handball, but see it again. His hands down by his side.
Yeah, I know. But judging by that replay, those shouts were pretty tame to say the least. Interesting that Kevin Holt been left unmarked on the edge. We know he's a threat. Here he is. It's all the way out to Ethan Walker. Bruce's ball in. Holt went up for it, but didn't quite make it. Now Scott Stewart can break. Jimmy Murphy does well. United in control in these early exchanges.
Yeah, I'd say they're probably the more possession out the two teams, but I mean nothing in terms of shots on target for anyone.
Main. Thomas, good link up. Curtis Main! And it's flicked into the corner! And just as Gary said, there were no shots on target. United have their first shot on target and they take the lead. Curtis Main with a fantastic finish, returning into the starting lineup. Here we see it again. Deflected ball in from Dom Talbot. It's a good exchange between the two experienced men there. And Curtis Main again showing his experience in that finish, flicking it past Aidan McAdams. And you wonder whether this early goal can perhaps open the floodgates for Arbroath to come at us a little bit more.
Yeah, I mean, I literally just said there are no shots on target, and I mean the first one we get is put in the back of the net. That's what you like to see. You like to see a team take their opportunities as they come. First real opportunity for Ayr is in the back of the net.
That's Curtis Main's first goal of the season as well, important to note. He had 4 and 16 up until today, so now 5 and 17 as it stands. Interesting way to pass the ball back to the goalkeeper there from Wilkie, just off the knee. Looked a bit uncomfortable, but he certainly did well enough. Man. Want. Looks for McAllister, but execution wasn't quite there. Scott Brown did give him the thumbs up though, I don't know if you noticed that. Yeah. So obviously acknowledging the idea was the correct one. Well stopped from McAllister there. McKenzie, who's again quietly having a rather good afternoon so far in the middle of the pitch.
Yeah, he's really stepped up after the absence of our two main central midfielders. It'll be interesting to see how we line up with Bannigan and Dempsey, if maybe one of them is on the bench, one of them starts, or I'd quite like to see them both in midfield.
Ball forward from Scott McMahon. Curtis Main can't quite bring that one under control.
Good idea though.
Yeah, again a nod of applause from the gaffer. Roos finds Thomas. Dispossessed there by Ryan Dow. Kevin Hall all the way back to the goalkeeper. What would you make of that man's performance so far?
Yeah, he's really shown his quality, hasn't he? Looks offside to me, yep.
Yeah, I think a pretty obvious one, that.
Yeah, I think McAllister wasn't happy, but
He never is happy by the sound of it. Strong header from Sean Want, goes down. Indicating that he has gone up with an elbow there. Looks a slow one for the big defender, who did well initially to win the header, and Arbroath get things back underway again. O'Brien, Stewart sends it man to the floor. Brian down goes for goal deflected, and Cochrane's eventual effort is high, wide, and not at all handsome. He'll be determined to prove a point against there, Harry Cochrane, having not been picked up after training with us in the early exchanges.
our camera operator, Cameron, actually pointed out to me before the game that Harry Cochrane used to be a bit of a player back in the day until he was until he got a bit of a bad injury against a certain gaffer, Scott Brown. Apparently,
Yep.
gave him a nice tackle.
Oh, McAdams under pressure there, and the Ayr fans enjoyed that one.
If ever there was a time for a quick throw in, that was it.
Yeah.
But
Dom Thomas into the area. Jamie Murphy's header is just over the top of the crossbar. See it again here. Lovely leg swinging ball. Murphy beats Muirhead in the air. It's quite hard to do, by the way. Beat Aaron Muirhead in the air. It's not the easiest thing.
was it Thistle he was with last season?
Yeah, and then he spent the second half of the season on loan
Right.
at Arbroath, and then we picked him up permanently this summer. But solid challenge from Pettifer there on.
Like him or loathe him, you know what you get with Aero, and
Yeah.
that's hard tackles.
And diving to get
And diving.
people to get people sent off in
And
playoffs.
listen, it's fine when he was playing for Ayr. I'm all for it, but yeah, cut it out when you're not.
But man, Muirhead steps in there. His ball forward wasn't the best. Comes back to the Arbroath defence, so Watson now to send this one. Arbroath not really getting their foot on the ball at the moment, forcing themselves into a lot of, Ayr forced them into a lot of long passes up the top of the end of the pitch, and Sean Want and Kevin Holt quite happy to deal with that at the moment. Roos. Thomas. He's looking for Ethan Walker, but just to see that Arbroath in the break here. Dispossessed. Thomas. Roos. Switch to Scott McMahon. Walker. Oh, looks for the slit.
Right
ball
idea.
to Dom Thomas, but I think Thomas wanted the ball to feet.
Yeah.
Nice to see these wee patterns of play though developing.
Yeah, I mean,
so early on.
these sort of things will come as they get more used to playing with each other. And, you know, although this is being taken seriously, in some ways it's almost still feels like pre-season.
David Mitchell does very well to deal with
Yes,
that one.
That was pinged back with ferocity.
Thomas. Notice the Arbroath players really try to stop Dom Thomas getting on the ball. You can see it, 2 players surrounding him every time the ball is looking to go to him. McKenzie.
No idea what McAllister was trying, but
I think he was
trying to play on Dom Thomas, who didn't.
Yeah, I think he thought Thomas was ahead of him along the line, and
Walker. Lovely exchange. Walker perhaps just try to force that one a little bit too much there. Played in a similar role to Jay Henderson was in parts of last season, Ethan Walker, just that role behind the striker.
yeah.
Wilkie. Ryan Dow. Your head. Cochrane. Remember Harry Cochrane bursting onto the scene at Hearts back in the day when he scored a goal in that game that ended Celtic's unbeaten run as a 16 or 17 year old at the time. Still only 24, which I was quite surprised about. Shows you how young he was when he broke through initially. Dow. Chips one to the back post, but that's to no avail. And David Mitchell not had much to do so far at all. He found that on Tuesday night, although he did make that great save early on from Xander Craig to keep the scores level. Actually, if that had gone on at that point, Aaron would have taken the lead. It would have given them something to hold on to. Bruce. Just a bit lucky with that one, but challenged by Pettifer. A bit of afters there between Watson and Roos there. Walker, back to Roos. McAllister, space for a shot is there. Thomas. Oh, just misses Curtis Main. In the centre, it's taking a little deflection on the way.
Oh, he's so unlucky not to get his foot onto that.
Corner though. It's going to be a Jimmy Murphy in swinger this time. You said it was Dom Thomas as our corner taker.
I thought that, but changing things up. Don Thomas might get his head on this one.
Murphy. Stewart. Finds Marshall. McKenzie. Two minutes gone, Ayr United 1 Arbroath 0.
It's actually been quite a quick half.
Has. McKenzie. McAllister. Forced backwards there. McAllister. Good to see Dylan Watchett back on the bench today as well.
Yeah, it's nice to see we have a stronger bench as well.
One. Thomas, can he get there? No, he can't. A bit too much on that ball forward. Muirhead. Does well to meet that one, though. It comes to Cochrane. Wilkie. Great challenge there from
I actually thought he won the ball, to be fair.
Ethan Walker. I thought he was going to win the ball as well. That was quite a good challenge, but referee thought otherwise. Watson.
Yeah,
Curtis Main.
a bit unnecessary.
Yeah, he's just got himself booked for it as well.
Yeah, a wee bit needless that.
I think Scott will have words with him at half time over that one. That was
Seemed,
a bit daft.
did seem a bit stupid, that one. Dow. McAllister's ball forward. Ethan Walker giving chase, but O'Brien always favourite for that one. Ball all the way back to David Mitchell in goal. Kind of feels like they've been a bit more slack the past couple of minutes with the possession. Solid challenge from McMahon.
Yeah, it's a great tackle.
Ayr United.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they've.
Here goes Rusto, one of those driving runs. He's getting hauled back again. And that should be another yellow card technically.
And he's played on, wow.
He's played on. Cannot believe that.
Yeah, that was pretty obvious. I'm surprised that the assistant referee in the far side didn't flag him out.
Greg Suter, the referee, and it's what we're seeing. We've been saying this the past couple of seasons. With VAR being introduced in the Scottish Premiership, these higher end officials are getting moved into the VAR centre. There's promotions coming from below, and
Yeah.
you've got to say some haven't quite. I'm not probably too early to say about Greg Suter, but there's been some that we've had at the Somerset Park over the last season or two that really shouldn't be at this level.
Yeah.
But
I mean, he's put both his hands round him and dragged Marco Roos down.
literally that is the exact same thing as what Curtis Main did to Watson.
It's a lack of consistency, almost. We've seen that across lots of games last season as well.
It's the same every season though. kind of feel that lack of consistency. You're never going to get total consistency all over, but it is very frustrating when, in that case, it was an identical incident.
Yeah, I think that's the big bugbear of all fans. It's just we want consistency across a game. You know, we don't particularly need it across all games, but for 90 minutes, let's get. You know, you're right. They'll never get every single decision right. You know, it's split-second thoughts and the foul is in the eye of the beholder. But
Dow. There it goes. Headed clear. Recycled. Dow again. Ball to the back post. Kevin Holt clears and Dom Thomas can move it on. Pettifer. Marshall. Scott Stewart. Another corner for Arbroath. How are we looking at the St Mirren game at the moment, Gary? You've got the...
There's a 3-1 to St Mirren. All 3 St Mirren goals came in the first 9 minutes, actually. Fourth minute, 7th minute and 9th minute, and Annan have just pulled one back there in the 38th minute. East Kilbride have doubled their lead against Elgin City. They are now 2-0 up.
Here we go. There it comes. David Mitchell punches clear. Good from United goalkeeper. Marshall all the way back to McAdams. There it goes. One clears.
Arbroath just having a nice spell of possession.
It's probably the best spell of the match, Arbroath. This moment in time. Curtis Main, good challenge. Break of the ball just doesn't quite fall for Murphy. It's Cochrane. Finds O'Brien, the captain. Wilkie. Marshall. Dow. Cochrane again. Aaron Muirhead. Luck there from Scott Stewart. Watson's ball in is straight across the facing goal. Far too far away from anyone for it to come to any goal scoring opportunity. Walker's flick on. Ball bouncing around. The side can really get it under control at the moment. Roos flicks forward. Muirhead heads down. Watson clears. Murphy. Thomas. Finds Ethan Walker on the spin, but that was well read by Sam O'Brien.
Yes, and Arbroath ball that.
Much than it McAllister's discussed. 42 minutes on the clock, approaching the interval. United 1, Arbroath 0. poor there from Arbroath, giving away straight from the throat. Callister back to Blunt. Player of the season for Larne in the Northern Irish Premiership last year.
For who?
For Sean Want.
Larne.
Number 4.
Larne.
Larne.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Larne, I don't know how to. I think
Larne.
it's Larne, is it Larne?
Larne, yeah, Larne. Played in Europe last year.
Larne.
That's correct, yeah. Larne. Yes. Yes, Ian.
100%.
I was watching again Footy Adventures the other day there, and he was down in Wales for Haverfordwest Athletic Football Club. Were playing some Maltese team in the Europa Conference League, and he went to Haverfordwest's ground, which was actually quite a nice ground. But they are the Welsh Premiership, which is like, you know, 7th, 8th tier or whatever. They had VAR.
They had VAR. Wow.
They had VAR.
I'm assuming that's because it's a Conference League game, maybe? Or?
No, it was Haverfordwest's ground, and they couldn't play it there because they only had like 700 seats, and they have to have 1,500 for a European game. So this is their. I mean, it's an offside VAR only, I think.
Right.
But it's like, what?
Yeah, it's wild. Wild at that level. It's not yet found its way into the Scottish Championship though, finally.
But it's not.
Luckily, sorry.
It's not just that. You know, you look at some of these let's call them wee teams, and you know they have better grounds than a lot of the guys up here.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable the amount of money that's floating around in the English and Welsh leagues right now.
Lovely bit of play there. Solid challenge from Sean Want.
Throw in.
Arbroath throw. This has now reached the 45-minute mark. Don't see there have been too many minutes added on, although potentially that early challenge on Marco Roos when he was down for a little while. Tam O'Brien's shot deflected. Cochrane. On again. Kenji clears.
Keep concentrating for the last couple of minutes.
Greg Suter with one look at his watch there.
Yeah, I thought he'd blown up for half time there actually.
Look at the watch. Marshall into the area it goes. Todorow's header. Just wide of targeting.
That'll probably be it for the first half.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a.
Yep.
That's the first half over there. Greg Suter sounds a half-time whistle. United go in 1-0 up, and apart from those last seconds, we looked relatively comfortable throughout. Although we did probably lose our grip on the match towards the end of that second half.
Yeah, I think Scott will be reasonably happy with that, particularly the fact that we've gone in 1-0 up. Slightly uncomfortable looking goal, I think. But yeah, we've gone in 1-0 up. And seeing as that's the music now blaring, we are going to take a little break, and we'll see you just before the start of the second half.
So it's almost go time here again in the second half here at Somerset Park. No changes for United here at half time. Reminder of the score, United leading 1-0 at the break here. Just lining up now ahead of the second 45.
Let's hear you in the north stand. Come on, you!
Curtis Main and Jamie Murphy over the kick-off. And United get the second half here underway, and they look for Ethan Walker over the top. That ball goes all the way out for a throw in though. United with a pretty solid first half performance, but maybe slacked off the last 10 minutes or so in that one.
Yeah, looked as if Arbroath were probably the better side in the last 10-15 minutes or so in this first half.
Stewart. Kevin Holt challenge. Marshall. Stewart. And again it's Kevin Holt there with that one. Craig Watson to take a throw in for Arbroath here, decent position, goes short. Bedford tries to wriggle clear of 3 United players, but he's crowded out in the end.
And goes out for a goal kick. Yeah, I think at the end of the last half, the concentration level from there just dropped up just that tad. So yeah, they just need to pick things up a little bit. I'd like to see them get maybe another goal just to kind of settle things down a little bit, but as we saw against Sweden and England the other night, their 2 goals is not a lead.
No, they always talk about 2-0 being the most dangerous margin to have in football, because as soon as you can see one, then it's the other team's right back at it straight away.
Yeah, apologies for bringing up England.
I know, I'll just brush over that. Sean Mont. Both centre backs been pretty solid today so far, not really giving much away until that right to the death chance for Todorov. That the head of it just spun wide of the post, but apart from that, both been pretty solid and dominant.
Who was Todorov with before? Was he Inverness Cali?
Inverness Cali, Dunfermline, Airdrie, Hamilton,
everywhere, basically.
Basically everywhere, yeah. I actually remember a story a couple of seasons ago under David Hopkins. Todorov shook the chairman's hand, David Smith, to join Ayr United on the same day, went away and signed for Dunfermline.
That rings a bell now that you've mentioned it, yeah. Aye, those were the glory days with Hoppy, eh?
Yeah, I know.
Hopkins Bolt.
The less said about that area of Ayr United, the better.
Lovely guy.
Oh, don't get me wrong, yeah, really nice guy, but it just didn't work out for him. The one I always feel slightly sorry for was Mark Kerr.
Yeah.
He has got such a good footballing brain on him, but it's almost too good.
McAllister and a bit of space. Lovely exchange in him and Thomas. McAllister back to Walker, off the post and tapped home by Curtis Main. United start the second half as they need to go on. Off the post of Ethan Walker, and Curtis Main's there to tap home the rebound into an empty net. He won't score an easier goal than that all season, but he was in the right place at the right time, as all good strikers are. 2-0 United.
Second goal
Yeah,
for
you will
Ayr
not
United,
see an
and
easier
second
goal.
No.
For a goal scorer again, number 10.
Yeah, but he'll not be caring as a
Curtis
striker. He'd just be happy to put it in the back of the net. He almost looked as if he didn't really care when it was happening in the back of the net there.
I think he didn't realise that the ball was coming to him. It's like, what? Whoa!
But I mean, that's all stemmed from Dom Thomas and Nick McAllister's little 1-2 there to put Nick
Yes,
McAllister in
yeah.
behind. Little cut back to Ethan Walker on the edge of the box who smacks the post, but the main thing is we've scored.
Walker in space. Lovely pick out from Kevin Holt. He finds Thomas.
Yeah, so now I'd like to see you really, really push on.
Oh, it's a great ball across the face.
Yeah, you just want to see them go now and just score a barrel for a goal. It's the same as up at Annan, sorry.
Or down at
Down at Annan.
Up
But
at Annan.
actually, it was up in Annan for me because I was
He
on
was in the
holiday in
Lake District,
Maryport.
yeah,
so.
there you go.
You're always on holiday.
Ah, right, that's true.
Missing the first game of the season and all, that's so poor.
That's just good start, what, Gary? Good start.
Yeah.
It's just something you've come to expect now, though, hasn't it?
Yes.
Never in the country.
To be fair enough. At times.
Mind you and your thoughts have been Carlos Alcaraz
Yeah.
playing your tennis games.
I know, that's pretty poor. Good flick. Walker. Oh, lovely footwork
Nice,
from Ethan Walker.
nice skills from Walker there.
He's looked really sharp in the early stages of the season and in the pre-season game as well, Ethan Walker.
Yeah, I mean, there was talks of last season about giving him the chop come Christmas time, but I'm very, very glad we've kept him on.
I forgot about that.
Yep.
There was a serious possibility that he might have been leaving the club. Murphy. For Marco
Nice
Rouse.
ball.
Another Muirhead can thunder that one clear. Marshall up against one. Big defender does well. Picks out Thomas, does he? No, the ball has gone out of play.
Yeah.
Has Jamie Murphy been quite quiet this game, do you think?
I think he has a wee bit,
Yeah.
yes. I mean,
Showing the odd. I think as if Jamie Murphy could be quiet for the full game. Anytime he does,
Listen, Jamie Murphy can be quiet for 87 minutes
yeah,
and then pop up in the 88th and score a goal.
still such a classy player, Jamie Murphy at 35.
Yeah, I'm kind of glad we kept him, not just for his playing skills, but for his sort of man management,
Yeah.
game management skills.
well, he's also took up that coaching role as
Yes.
well.
Yeah.
So
I think he'll be quite a good captain.
until the actual captain's back.
And well, aye.
Thomas. Poor ball inside. Solid challenge from Mackenzie. He does have Walker got the
Wins the
ball.
ball again, and
I know he had a go at him initially, but I don't think there was that much contact that would have forced Cochran to go down.
has the ref put his boots on, I think, now?
Oh, he has.
Came out in trainers in the first half, decided to put his boots on for the second.
Immediate red flag.
Might actually be able to keep up with play then.
Surprised he didn't slip in that first half, honestly. Todorov. Ryan Dow. O'Brien to Muirhead. Pettifer. Good play. Finds Watson. Pass McMahon, but Sean Want clears. Roos, good challenge. Goes back to the goalkeeper. Good pick out from Mitchell there, actually. Composed under pressure.
Yeah.
You almost have a fear as a fan that the goalie might take that wee extra risk too far.
I mean, he had one in one against Aaron where the ball was played back to him and he couldn't control him out for a corner. So
It was your man 2 seasons ago, the keeper that went to Hamilton. Albinson, aye, Charlie.
Loved the header.
Oh no, just please stop doing that, Charlie.
Marshall. Cochrane. Your head. It's a really poor ball from the former Ayr United man, and I think the fans over in the North Stand quite enjoyed that.
Yeah, I think the Ayr fans on this side enjoyed it as well.
Yeah, I think so too. Thomas.
Ironic cheering all round.
Holt. Finds Main. Good play, Thomas. McAllister outside him. Across the face. Potent touch from Muirhead. Not quite clear yet though. Will be now. Pettifer comes away with the ball. A good challenge from Mark McKenzie. 56 men on the clock and United 2, Arbroath 0. You hoping to see some changes at some point, Gary?
yeah, I'd like to see the addition of Jude Bonner and see what we're really in for this season. And we've also, I mean, I've got some strong people on that bench as well. Liam Dick, George Oakley as well.
Jake Hasty and Dylan Watson, no stranger to first team action either.
Do you think he will bring on Jude Bonner?
I think it ultimately depends. I mean, you saw that at Annan when we went like 5-0 up. He was quick to make the change. I think Scott Brown likes to know his team's comfortable. Not
Yes.
Gonna get the win before he decides to make any decisions. East Kilbride have found a third goal away to Elgin.
Yeah, they'll be one to watch this season, East Kilbride at that level.
Montrose up 2-1 against Bonnie Riggerose. The Montrose admin will be happy.
Montrose admin, jeez. Murphy.
Offside for me.
No offside flag. Walker! And he drags the ball wide of target.
I thought he was offside. I
Yeah, I thought it was miles offside as well, but Linesman played on and
it's just the ball with the bounce on it. He just can't really get his foot on it.
he knocks it into the ground. It's an awkward one as well. He's under immense pressure from.
And I think he's
Both
predominantly
centre halves.
right-footed, Ethan Walker as well. That was another
Yeah.
thing at Aaron. He was one-on-one with the keeper, and all he had to do was take it on his left foot and slot it into the corner, but took it on his right and fired it straight at the goalie.
Slack, good challenge from Want. Roos got time to bring the ball down. Thomas finds McKenzie. Holt. Murphy looking for Curtis Main. Can he bring the ball under control? No, I can't quite get there. Todorov nods it onto Marshall. Goes down rather easily there, Finlay Marshall. I think he knew what he was doing. I think it's fair to say.
Yep. Annan have now found a second goal away to St Mirren. It is now 3-2 to St Mirren.
A yellow card for Kevin Hope for that challenge.
The Annan trialist has scored a double.
Keep him.
Unbelievable. A double against St Mirren. If that doesn't get you a contract, then I don't know what will.
Proud day for the trialist family.
I know. Arbroath's number 15 trialist to be absolutely buzzing. Horrible bounce for Wilkie there, it's straight out of play. It's out for an Ayr United throw. That's us just on the hour mark for now. United 2, Arbroath 0.
Pitch invasion by Seagulls.
Yeah, I was actually going to say that a moment ago. I was hoping that one of you guys would have noticed it as well before I pointed it out. Loose there. Man probably got away with that one slightly. Loose ball for Kevin Holt, but big centre back can retrieve that one. Please, Thomas. All the way back to David Mitchell in goal.
It is now 4-2 to St Mirren. I think that is the game over.
Lovely turn from Murphy. Stewart. Marshall. There it goes. All the way to down at the back post. Wilkie. Mitchell claims that one.
That's a super catch from David Mitchell in goal.
Couple of changes been ready than the sidelines.
Wondered if Jude Bonner was one of them.
Didn't actually quite see who it was. I saw George Oakley, but there was a few. I didn't catch the rest. Marco Roos, great exchange between him and Curtis Main. McAllister. Oh, he's gone for the ball across the face. It's perhaps the better idea was the cutback for Roos again.
I like it. But wrong execution.
Gavin Riley is about to come on for Arbroath. He's an Armand that's played for just about every club in Scottish football it feels. Gretna, Queen of the South, Hearts, Livingston, Dunfermline.
George Oakley is one of the men ready to come on.
Adams.
A risky one there.
It was a risky one indeed, and Arbroath. Rose Trialist also going to come on.
I have no idea who it is.
No, neither.
Trialist. You're not supposed to know who he is. It's a secret.
Tweet Ryan Dow We one of the men coming off and Todorov as well. He's not been given much up there as a big striker.
No. Number 11, Ryan Dowie. And number 19, Nikolai Todorov, to be replaced by number 10, Gavin Riley. And number 15, Trialist.
It will be Jude Bonner that is coming on for that. Here we go.
Years old, Jude Bonner.
Good first touch from the Arbroath trialist.
Yeah, interesting one. Now you said that, he's going to score, isn't he?
Yep.
You'd think it would be a straight swap, Oakley for Maine. Interesting to see who he turns to bring Jude Bonner on.
Curtis Main for George Oakley, possibly.
Dom Thomas.
Double substitution for Ayr United, leaving the field number 11, Dom Thomas. And Dom will be replaced by number 17, Jude Bonner. And also leaving the field, number 10, showing appreciation for Curtis Main.
Curtis Main and Dom Thomas are meant to come off then.
And Curtis will be replaced by number 9, George Oakley.
Jude Bonner coming on it right of the on the right wing then, just a like for like swap on both sides.
Curtis Maina plodded off the pitch. Well deserved after that, both. Poor pass there.
Slight pass from Dave Mitchell on goal. Marshall all the way back to O'Brien under pressure from Oakley. Solid challenge from Jude Bonner there. Good first involvement. Free kick going. One thing you've got to say though is that David Mitchell is very comfortable with the ball at his feet. So I think something that Scott Brown was looking for, in particular from his goalkeeper.
Yeah, it's very noticeable. But the likes of Harry Stone in Nets last season, a guy who's been a solid goalkeeper but wasn't as comfortable with the ball at his feet.
Scott Stewart can't quite get the shot away. Turn your head there, but Hope nods that one down nicely from McMahon. They're both knocking it about quite nicely at the back there. O'Brien gets it back from Wilkie. Welke once more. Riley.
Just the match attendance here is 1,534 with 1,445 Ayr fans and 89 Arbroath fans.
It's a decent turnout for
good travelling
Saturday
support.
and considering the distance and considering that we are still mid-July, peak holiday season. It's a great ball through from Jamie Murphy. George Oakley just supposed to switch back onto his right foot, but he would have been better going with the left if he could. Yeah, I felt like him against the trialist there. Murphy. Great ball through. Marco Roos finds him in behind. See from McAdams, ball at the back post. Bouncing around and eventually Arbroath can scramble clear. Watson. Stewart.
Jamie Murphy here. Does so well to track back and win the ball back. He never stops.
71st minute. United 2, Arbroath 0. Flight from Jude Bonner looking for Mackenzie. Foul given.
Really.
No. Sorry, disagree with that one.
It's one of them ones that we talk about it all the time, and there's at least one or two that happen each game that we play, but there's one you just know is going to be given by the referee as soon as the defender goes down. Slightest bit of contact, and the referee's always going to give that one. Murphy looking for the flick to Roos, but you hear what the fans think of the referee's performance today. Wilkie. Ethan Walker. Oakley, chance for a break here for United. Jamie Murphy, carrying all the way here. Against Muirhead. Goes for goal, Murphy. Takes a slight nick on the way, it'll go out for a corner. Yeah, two changes being readied here for Arbroath as well. It's like Rocco Hickey for Jackie and Luke Kelly to come on. Kenny on loan from St Mirren. Hickey picked up by Arbroath after leaving Queen's Park. Edge of the box. Bonner. Good little step inside, goes for goal!
What a strike
from Jude Bonner! Invited to shoot. Wow, what a finish! What a way to adhere yourself to your new club supporters, eh?
Wow!
Here. I mean, if you're Colin Hamilton and David Gold, you've got to be raging at Craig Watson, a man of his experience, letting Jude Bonner come inside so easily. Sold him a dummy there, and Harrow was one in the top corner.
Number 17, Jude Bonner.
I think that's post-match sorted.
Yes.
Jake Hasty and Dylan Mottrit getting stripped as well to come on.
Yeah, it's going to be.
Yeah, I think we'll keep Jude Bonner on. He seems quite good.
Substitution for Arbroath
coming off, and Thomas O'Brien coming off. Luke Kenny and Hickey
Number
Fujaki
22,
on.
Rocco Hickey Fugaccia, and number 24, Luke Kenny.
Yeah, I think that probably settles the Ayr United team down as much as anything. You know, a 3-goal lead. We've got 15, 16 minutes left to play, and to be honest, Arbroath haven't really given much in front of our goal.
Ross County take the lead against Queen of the South. Jay Henderson, the goal scorer.
Was he?
Who?
Jay. Okay.
Nice, Ian.
Fell into that one.
It's a sore one to take that. Didn't like it. He was used as the match day graphic cover star today. Got me a bit upset. He's not here anymore.
He's going to be a big miss.
Although Jude Bonner just scored an absolute peach wearing his number, so
Very true.
17 seems to be quite a good number to wear for Ayr United. You know, Lauren Shanklin, Jay Henderson. Changes coming on for United. It's going to be
Liam Dick as well.
Liam Dick,
Triple sub.
Dylan Watcher and Jake Hasty. Perhaps that third goal allowing Scott Brown to make a couple of changes. Interested to see who he takes off.
Jude Bonner.
Exactly, he's done enough. Preserve him for the
Treble
for Tuesday.
substitution for Ayr United. Leaving the field, number 2, Nick McAllister.
Nick McAllister.
Number 15 of captain Jimmy Murphy. And number 33, Scott McMahon. Nick, Jamie and Scott will be replaced by number 3, Liam Dick. Number 16, Jake Hasty. And number 32, Dylan Watchett.
Dylan Watchett moving over to right back. Liam Dick taking up the role on the left hand side of the defence. And Jake Hasty coming on to replace Jimmy Murphy.
Now, I wonder where the captain's armband's going. Will it be Mark McKenzie? It will. It will be Mark McKenzie.
Nice to see Mark McKenzie getting that recognition for his years of
Yes,
service. And you've
it's
got to
very
say,
well deserved.
He goes today playing in a role like that. He goes really under the radar, but done terrifically well to hold down that position and the way he's played the past couple of times he's played there. Oceana on Tuesday was really solid as well.
There's really no man that deserves it more on that pitch than Mark McKenzie, to be honest. The man that's played basically every position for us and gave it his all since he's been here. He's had a lot of hate as well from the Mark McKenzie haters, but
Here he is again, Mark McKenzie. Go on, Gary, keep talking. As soon as he stops talking, he made a bad pass. One ball forward, will David Mitchell get there? He does. Here's Liam Dick. Home debut for Ayr United. Bonner again, and not quite as nice a shot as his first one, but a lot tougher of an effort, I think. Slightly behind him on the volley.
I tell you which result is quite interesting as it stands in the Scottish League Cup. Cove Rangers 0, Falkirk 0.
That is an interesting one, actually. Falkirk thrashed Brecon City the other day as well. McKenzie.
no upsets in the cards today, apart from, well, unless Cove Rangers get a win in the last 10 minutes, and or Inverness Cali get one against St Johnstone, who are also 0-0 at the moment.
McKenzie. Bonner. Finds Holt. Back to 1. Bonner. Kenzie. Walker. Almost brought that one under control there, but just lost his footing as he got the first touch on the ball.
Yeah, a bit of an ass considering the fact he was sandwiched between two players.
Also just seen Alec Ray in the stands there watching the game. Former Rangers player, Rangers coach, of course.
I really hope Sean Maloney doesn't go back and tell them how good Jude Bonner's played.
Alec Ray now part of the Partick Thistle coaching staff as well, of course. So
Yes.
Yeah, we look forward to those 4 games again.
Muirhead. Watson. Gifagacha. Cochrane. Wide to Wilkie. It's a heavy touch. Can he keep it in? He does. Good challenge from Watch. The ball still with Arbroath. Into the area it goes. Liam Dick. Initial header. Breaking the ball falls for Hasty. Walker. Hasty making a great run outside of him. Can he pick him out? Will he go for Oakley? Finds George Oakley. Can he finish? He does! It's 4-0 to United.
A fantastic counter-attack.
That is a classic counter-attack, as Gary said. You wondered if Ethan Walker was going to pick the right option.
I mean,
Did just that.
It's a great pass through to George Oakley. He just takes it first time and
Perfect weight.
back of the net.
Perfect weight. It was almost as if it was going to be too little on it at one stage.
Yeah, I mean, you could feel the whole stadium going, pass it to George, pass it to George.
George Oakley!
Aaron Steele going to come on for Arbroath. He'll be replacing number 6 Adam Muirhead.
Substitution for Arbroath, evening through number 6 Adam Muirhead. To be replaced by number 2 Aaron Steele.
We're all getting pelters there.
A few cheers from the crowd. Steele coming on. 3rd season at Arbroath for Aaron Steele. Goes straight in to fill that void that Muirhead left at centre back. A totally new centre back pairing for Arbroath then. Kenny and Steele. Just slipped underneath. Don't watch its foot there.
It's now 5-2 to St Mirren.
Total crowd today 1,534 with 1,445 Ayr fans and 89 Arbroath. Thank you very much for your attendance.
It's the top 2 that go through.
Yes, I was just looking at the table there. St Mirren are on 7 points
Yeah.
as currently they are winning, so they are on 7 points with 3 games played.
We can still technically finish second and not go through, but we're amongst the 3 best second place teams in the competition. So
Yes, a win against
at the minute we'd go through in second.
a win against St Mirren, and I mean you're ultimately looking. You've probably won the group.
Is there other teams that come in for the second round?
Yeah,
Yes.
Right.
yeah.
Because I noticed there was 8. There's 8 groups.
Yeah, you get like Celtic, Rangers, Hibs, Hearts.
Who cares about them?
No.
It's now 6-2 to St Mirren. Just go from kick-off.
Again,
So, oh right, so that'll be the top 5 from the split. Come in for the second bit, and the bottom 5 play the right.
Top 6 and bottom 6.
Aye. I still don't like it.
Roos finds Watcher. Great run. Back to Roos. Bonner under pressure. Knows he's out there, but does well to win it back. Sean won. Both centre halves of John Want and Kevin Holt have looked pretty solid all afternoon. Hopefully could be in behind you. Look, Kenny, is he?
He's going to give that.
Wins it. Finds Walker. Jude Bonner. Roos! Oh, just over the top. Good play though initially from Oakley. Kept it alive. Nice layoff from Roos and from Bonner and Roos' shot. Took a slight deflection apparently because it's going to be an United corner. Jude Bonner to swing this one in on the left foot. Oh, Oakley right on top of the goalkeeper actually gets a touch to that, and I think he's down, being so close to the goal, just headed miles away.
It's now 7-2 to St Mirren.
Aaron have got a real bad habit of that in these early couple of games.
The hero man of the match is Sean Want.
Sean Want wins the man of the match award.
Yeah, he's actually done quite well, I think.
It is a rogue shout for me.
It's slightly rogue shout considering that we've had 2 goals from one player, but
I mean, Curtis Main's probably my man of the match.
To be fair though, Curtis Main, first finish was great, second one taps into an empty goal. It's probably nice, it's nice to see the match sponsors looking kind of further afield and...
Oh, that is one of ours. As it nearly hits our camera.
No, I think the Arbroath analyst got the fright of his life there as that ball bounced within an inch of his nose. .87 on the clock now, United 4, Arbroath 0. Can we get a 5th before the end of the...
Yeah, the game's kind of petering out a little bit now.
You do feel as though that's the way it's going at the moment.
Yeah, I often think that the referee should go and speak to the manager and say, look, do you just want to call it now?
That'll probably be the case for the Annan manager.
Annan?
Yeah, they're losing 7-2.
Oh, right, yeah. Arbroath throw. Bonner. Sean Want, solid challenge there. Alert to the danger. play from Ricky Fagaccia. Bedford back to Steele. Was touched. Sean Mont. 30 seconds to go here of normal time. Referee's already had one look of his watch.
We've got 2-3 minutes most.
Yeah, I think if any, he might just.
Yeah.
I noticed that Aaron the other night, the referee literally called it right on the hour and a half mark.
Yeah.
Really solid challenge from Jude Bonner, who took a sore one there.
Listen, if we had VAR or whatever, we'd be playing about another 15 minutes.
Exactly. 90 minutes has been and gone. Here at Somerset Park, United 4-0 up, all eyes on the referee Greg Suter when he's going to blow up for full time. Lovely ball for Dylan Watch, he'll get there as well. Finds Oakley. Corner to United.
Probably last opportunity here, I think.
Yeah, coming up to 91 minutes on the clock.
Yeah, he'll allow this and then hopefully finish up for our first home game of 25-26. Let's hope all our home games have the same scoreline.
That'd be nice, wouldn't it?
It would be nice. Be a miracle.
I think miracle's putting it lightly. Bonner. For Walker on the edge, he goes for goal. Trying some sort of Zidane-like-esque volley where he swivels. And the full-time whistle goes. United's first home competitive game of the season ends in a 4-0 victory. Courtesy of a Curtis main brace and goals from Jude Bonner and George Oakley off the bench. Clean sheet for David Mitchell as well, which was probably all that was missing from Tuesday evening's result. Gary, as good as we could have asked for today, probably.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what we like to see. I like to see a striker getting on the score sheet and especially getting a double as well. I mean, Jude Bonner just showing what a class act he is with that finish on the edge of the box. But a win here in the Premier Sports Cup, that puts us second in the group behind St Mirren.
Yeah, and a very
who have played a game more than us.
Yep.
It's on to Forfar on Tuesday night and then St Mirren on the following Sunday, who have convincingly won 7-2.
Yep.
I mean, that's that. Annan conceded 13 goals in 2 games, so.
Yeah, and a fantastic goal out of it, but as Gary said, we'll see you back here on Tuesday evening as we host Forfar in the Premier Sports Cup. But until then, enjoy the rest of your weekend. Thank you very much for listening.